Hi there, it's Friday and it's the ArtiBiz teacher, and today I'm going to talk to you about selling your art and craft online and why that is so important right now, and of course how you can do that really well. Okay, I'll see you in a minute. Hi, thanks for coming back. And today I'm going to talk about online selling. And just to remind you, if you want to subscribe to my channel, please do so. I'd really appreciate it. I've had some fantastic feedback about my, well, I'd like to say little uploads, but very long-winded uploads. And I'm glad you're enjoying them. But also hit the notification button, because then you'll get notified as to when I do my next upload. So I know this is really, really important to a lot of you. It's about online selling. I'm going to be quite tough today. I'm going to be quite tough on you artists and makers about online selling, but I hope you're going to find it really useful. So I just want to tell you that very recently I contacted all my artists and makers. There's about 90 of them that are on my online selling platform called Art in the Heart. And some of you may know that. It's artintheheart.co.uk if you'd like to have a look at that. And I sent them an email. I'm always sending them emails. It's very annoying for them, I know, but you know, I have to send them emails. The email that I was sending them was completely coincidental to the coronavirus. I'd already decided I was going to do this, but when I was sending out that email and as I was doing follow-ups, I was realising, God, this is really, really important now, and it's quite motivational. Well, it was certainly motivational for me. I can tell you that now. But as I was getting the feedback, I was realising how motivational it was for the actual artists. So my message was clear, very clear. What I was saying to them was, are they going to finally take the opportunity to be a good online seller with me and my platform? Are they going to take it seriously? Or basically, do they want to stop selling with me? I told them some facts about what was going on. So I know it sounds very harsh, but it's just so important for the sellers that I've got that are really good and they stick to the brand and they work hard and they've got fantastic storefronts. And by and large, they abide by the rules. So, okay. So I told them the landscape, that the traffic to the website had increased exponentially, that sales had in the year quadrupled. Okay, so we were getting pretty much sales every day, which was not the truth a couple of years ago for various reasons. And that, in my view, the actual traffic that was coming to the website, we could actually further improve that conversion to sales if they wanted to seriously take my advice. So this was, if they wanted to remain a seller with me with a storefront, they had to fulfill the following things. And this is going to be really useful to all of you who sell online. And if you want to sell online with me, you've got to do it now, because if you don't, you're really bringing down what everybody else is doing. I sound like a right ogre, but I'm sorry, at this point, it's the only way I'm going to get my point across. I've really tried to be kind, but a lot of you would just ignore me, right? So, the things that are really important that you do on your basic storefront are as follows. We want a great, compelling biography, a compelling narrative. You know that box where you put your biography? We want something that tells a story. So we want a good biography. So you need a standard title that's good for search engines, and we show you how to do that. You need great product images, the correct size, so that when somebody zooms, it doesn't like explode into the screen or conversely go smaller. So that's ridiculous. So we need good product images, at least 10 products in your shop, changes and updates at least once a month to keep it fresh, a distinct cohesive style with your work, not random stuff. And you think, well, is that the same artist? You know, cohesive work, and you look at that and you think, oh yeah, that's that artist. Oh, I don't like that one, or oh, I want to see more of this. And then your customers see kind of the same kind of things in the same style, and you're more likely to sell something because it makes more sense. Great descriptions for your products, factual details, you know, sizes. Some of you that you don't even put the size of the picture, you know. So sizes, great use of categories and tags, and very importantly, and this is the crux, supporting and engaging with the Art in the Heart brand. And so what that means is joining in the conversation. So being a member of Artists and Makers UK, Art in the Heart, which is our Facebook group, joining in the online sellers group, which is a private group, so you can discuss your problems with uploading, or if you need advice, or sharing your experiences with selling on the platform, liking our page, following us on Instagram, engaging with us. And not just when we promote your work, but also to share other people's work. And really, in today's climate, in any climate, the idea of cross promotion is absolutely and totally crucial. I keep saying that, and people just think, oh yeah, you know, she's on a game, she just wants us to work for her and she's just making the money. It's absolute nonsense. The only way that you can really make a successful business is not peddling your own boat in your little lake on your own. It's cross promotion, because if I'm successful, you're successful. If you're successful, I'm successful. And this idea is really, really important. The good sellers have actually understood that point, and they sell really well. So talking a bit more about this, you know, getting involved and joining in the conversation, customers love it, and you have great opportunity yourself. If you're commenting on somebody, you can also refer to what you're doing. It's a great way for you to keep telling your story too. So when I had my gallery on the high street, the artists and makers who sold best, the ones who were most generous, the ones that gave their time to interact with the brand in the gallery, the ones that came in fairly frequently to change over their stock or bring in new stock, who joined in with the marketing, those were the ones that would sell. So, you know, it's about that, I really believe that it's about that collaborative approach, and I've always tried to encourage that. It's the same on the site, and I'll say it now loud and clear. Art in the Heart is not Etsy. It's not, I'd be dead by now. It's not on the high street. It's not even, is it called Craft House? I think it's called. It's certainly not, oh, what do you call it? Oh, blooming heck. New Monday. Sorry, I couldn't even remember. It's none of those things. with some of those brands, I mean, I'm not as big as that. So essentially, I work on my own. I work with my son who does the graphic design. I've got a web team who do a fantastic job. Dimension 6000, they do a great job, and they've helped me enormously. But you know, it's all about collaboration with my artists and makers. And if you think you can just put a few things on a website and then somebody will just go ding, 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 with a magic wand and, you know, sell for me, you know, it most likely is not going to happen. And actually, I will tell you, I've got an Amazon shop that sells something completely different. And the thing is, the only site where it'll just happen, perhaps not on the high street, is pretty good. But Amazon, you can just dump your stuff on there as long as you abide by the rules, and there are loads of rules. You can't be sleepy with Amazon. If you want to shop with Amazon, you cannot be sleepy. You will sell. Perhaps a bit less now with the virus, I have to admit, but I'm still selling on Amazon, even though there's a global pandemic, right? But with my site, it's a little bit more involved than that. And I don't mind telling you about that. So the way forward for anybody who wants to have a shop on a storefront, and any storefront, but I can talk about mine, is it involves work. It involves commitment. It doesn't involve uploading and leaving and moaning that you've not sold anything. That is not what it's about, and it's never been about that. So yeah, we've increased our website traffic, and our conversion rate is much, much healthier. And when I actually go through this process with my artists and makers and say, look, you know, if you're not going to do this, then if your name's not on the list, you're not coming in. If your name's not down, you're not coming in. Once I've finished all that, sounds like sort of some kind of cleansing going on, but it's just that that's what we need. The other reason why our website is doing reasonably well, actually, is because Art in the Heart is actually truly unique. There is nothing else out there like it. So my decision is to capitalise on this even more. Ha, my cunning plan. So, and I've already started this. So what I'm offering artists is the following. So they can become what I call one of my big brands. So that's for artists and makers who really love selling their art and craft. They're regular producers of their art and craft. They love interacting with their audience. They love creating their narratives and their brands. They love their audiences. They've got a great product, and they just know how to sell it. And they are my big brands. Okay, so I've got two at the moment. And so one is called Through These Eyes, and that's run by Rachel Watts. And she's a really, really skillful sculptor. And she sculpts mostly, but not always, but mostly little mice. And she creates these mice and in all different little scenes, in glass domes quite a lot. And she's got these lovely narratives, and people actually go crazy for it. And I'm so happy that Rachel came onto our site, and she's so appreciative of the work I do, and she always cross promotes. She's always engaging in the narrative on social media with us, and she does very well. And then there's Susie Lidston, who's a fine artist with a painter and with merchandise as well. And I've invited, I think, another 8 to 10 artists, I'm still going through it, to be a big brand, because they sell really well, and I just want to help them develop, to make them stand out and develop their brand even further. Another thing I'm doing is inviting artists to engage very individually in a bespoke way with personalised commissions. So I've got two so far. So I've got the wonderful Sharon Pugsley Hill, who can paint your garden or your favourite garden or meadow or landscape in her inimitable style. Now, we've done one already, and the customer was absolutely thrilled with his painting that he presented to his wife, who knew nothing about it, on Christmas Day. And apparently it was an amazing experience. So that's the personalised commission. And then one thing I'm working on, and I haven't done this yet, but I'm going to give the opportunity to some of our fine artists who are what I would call emerging artists, that I would say serious art collectors would buy. And I've got quite a few of those. And one is Katie Timoshenko. And I've been selling her work since 2012, and I've sold a substantial, about 50 of her original artworks, and developed a collector base for her work. And she's starting to produce new things, and I love her dearly. I hope she loves me equally. we're both as mad as hatters in very different ways, but I've worked with her for a long time, and I find her work absolutely incredibly wondrous. So she will go into that section, and there are other artists, so you'll have to wait. So all of that, these fantastic artists who are going to shape up their shop fronts and bring you work all the time, and abide by my petty little rules for online selling, but I hope it's given you an idea of how you can sell your work online, and why, and my website. I mean, I just can't believe how positive I'm being during this virus, because like everybody, I've got my stories, I've got my difficulties, I've got huge challenges at the moment, but I just think I'm just looking forward, I'm getting on with it, and I just feel for everybody who's losing their jobs and their businesses. I've got stuff that's going by the wayside, and so I hope you've gained something today, and you've hopefully learnt something about online selling. Oh God, my coffee's gone cold. I always do that. I always have a cup of coffee, and people moan at me all the time, Dawn, you've only drunk half your coffee, it's gone cold. That's because I'm always talking too much. Anyway, let me just have a little slurp. Oh, it's lukewarm. Oh, never mind. Well, anyway, I hope you've learned something today from the guru. Sorry, I have to amuse myself. There might be, whatever platform you're on, you might have, thought, yeah, my images are rubbish. Get them sorted out. Get your images sorted out. I am working with a photographer at the moment, and we're going to produce some guidance on how to take good product photography with your iPhone, no less. So that will be coming in some future uploads. But if you do want to consider being on my platform, don't bother applying if you're just going to dump your stuff and leave it for 2 years and not change it, and just think that miraculously somehow it's going to sell, because it's not. So if you want to be on my platform, then it doesn't matter if you're not perfect, because I will help you. It's just that I have to have that commitment back really now, and I am friendly really. I just seem a bit fierce sometimes, Yeah, just register. It's artintheheart.co.uk. Register, and then I'll get back to you and I'll tell you what the next stage is. And also, here's another plug. If you do find stuff difficult, like writing narratives and stuff, I can help you, and I have to charge, right? Because I've done it for free for too many years, but it's ever so cheap, and I will help you do that. I'll help you do anything, but I have to charge you if you're not very good at stuff. And I don't charge very much. And I'm sorry about that, but I just can't do things for free anymore. And I'd still do, no, actually, I'll still do loads for free. You know, people are emailing all the time, what's this and what's that. So, yeah. I hope you do register with me. You'll see what the brand is, and I'll tell you whether your product is what we want. And I'll have a look at you uploading a few things to see if you've followed the guide and if you, you know, have got a clue what you're doing. I'd love you to register with me, and I'd love you to join the Art in the Heart Club. And I hope it's not, I actually do hope this doesn't come across as being a bit, you know, a bit forceful, but I've got to think of my sanity, really. And I'd love you, of course, to subscribe to my channel and get notified of when my next upload is. Okay, see you next week. Bye.